Kirsten, I'm super excited to go through this webinar with you um, and talk about memoir speculative fiction. It's one of my favorite developments in genre. Like it's always existed, of course, but to have it be an actual genre that agents are like, yes, send me your speculative fiction. Memoir. I'm really excited about that. What is memoir? This is one of my favorite stories about memoir. Augustine Burroughs, who wrote this book, Running with Scissors, um, he wrote it about his life, where his mother dropped him off at her therapist's house one day and was like, "You live here now, goodbye." What a pitch for a book, right? And so he lived with them for like the next, I don't know, 5 years, I think, and a lot of very terrible things happened to him. And he wrote the book. Now, the people who he lived with, the therapist's family, read the book and went, "Oh, no, 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 au contraire, this is not how any of it happened." And you have like the big strokes right, but the small strokes not so much. We would like $1 trillion. So there was a huge lawsuit, and this is if you pick up a later version of Running with Scissors, there's a whole intro which is like, "This is my recollection." And most memoirs now say, "This is my recollection of what happened," rather than "This is what happened," which I think is good, right? All memoir is our recollection. And you can have identical twins living in the same room with the same mother and father, or, parents, whoever they are. And they'll have wildly different recollections of their childhood because it's just the way that we as human beings experience things. So, is memoir a factual recollection and recounting of your life? No, it is how everything felt to you, which is why it's really wonderful to read. Nobody would read a factual recounting of your life because it wouldn't include anything interesting. So that's what memoir is. What is speculative fiction? Speculative fiction has 10,000 definitions. Here's the one I like: things can happen in the story that cannot happen in real life. That's it. That's all. People can fly, or people can read minds, or lollipops rain down from the sky every Tuesday. It's something is possible that could not be possible in real life. So, an example of a combination of memoir and speculative fiction would be if I wrote a story about sitting down and eating pumpkin pie with my mom. Well, my mom is dead, so that will never happen again. But I can write that story and revisit it and imagine that conversation that I could have with her. Is it memoir? Absolutely. This is something that I would give my both of my kidneys to experience. Is kidneys the one you have two of? Yes. Give both of my kidneys to experience again. It will never happen again, but I can make it happen in writing. And my own personal introduction to speculative memoir happened when I took a story that my mom had told me about her life and what had happened to her as a teenager growing up in the late 50s, early 60s. And I wrote the story, and it just was missing something. And so I paid an editor to like look over it, and the editor said, "You have a lot here about black and white monster movies, uh, but but what if you pushed it farther? What if the black and white monster movie was actually what this teenager was in?" And once the editor said that, I went, "Oh." And then this metaphor of the father being a monster, her father was a monster, the metaphor of the father being a monster gets even better because everybody is in the middle of this monster movie. So I rewrote the story, and it immediately got accepted. There's it bringing in the speculative element absolutely made that story better. One of the things that I got to do when I took this story, which was sort of quasi about monster movies and actually made it a monster movie, was I got to bring in the crew. So there's a part where in the story where my mom has been hurt, physically hurt by her father. And so what I did was I had the crew, while she's thinking all the things that she's thinking, patting in all the bruises, right? Because it's a monster movie. You have to have a crew, you have to have backstage, you have to have the cameras rolling, you have to have them, explaining to my mom that she can't leave because it's a film set. All of it. They're so, oh, I cannot express to you how much fun it is to take
Yeah.
your own personal experiences and then make them into something fantastic.